What's good? I am Yish. This is Yish in your ear. We are continuing with the Acustica audio review series, reviewing Crimson. Crimson is sampled and based on vertical hardware technology. It is a compressor and a saturator, and it is mean. All right? I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking. I will say this. This is a first for acoustic audio. They managed to model saturation in a glorious way. There's a lot of controls here. I'll go over them briefly. So for the compressor, we have your basic controls: threshold, ratio. There's a soft and hard ratio, attack, release, makeup, and a side chain. Then at the bottom, the input trim. You have the SMOD that is included on most of the newer compressors from Acustica Audio. And you have the dry and wet mix knob. You also have, of course, Insane, and that allows you to get more accurate modeling of the compressor and a gain reduction meter. Over here we have symmetrical and asymmetrical function for the compressor. For the preamp section, we have the input knob. We have two separate routings, and I'll explain the bottom one in just a second. A and B, and A plus B. Of course, you have the output, which can be unlinked. And then finally, you have the saturator, which is the balls of this plug-in. We have the level knob, the drive, low and high. All right, you have the Insane button for more accurate saturation. You have a filter. You have the shape. You also have a Zener option, which engages the Zener diode for the saturation. And you have hard and soft saturation type. And of course, a dry and wet mix knob. Down at the bottom shows you what's engaged and where it sits within the routing of the saturation. It is not configurable. Okay, back to this guy. This super saturation function takes the compressor and engages it in the path of the saturator and allows you to get super saturation, and I mean heavy, man. But enough of me talking. Let me let you hear what this sounds like.
This is Yish in your ear.
Okay, so here's the deal. This thing is massive on the CPU, whether you're using the standard version, and of course it's extremely massive with the zero latency version. So what I'm using for this is this. We have drums, all right, some keys, all right, little guitar, all right, and bass. All together. Simple. Now watch this. Grimy is the best way I can explain it. So let me dabble a little bit. I'm gonna shut the hell up and just dabble with it, okay? So bear with me. Ooh. That almost works as an EQ there, huh? All right, so let me show you. Taking this out out of the path, right? So you have saturation and you have compression. I'm not sure if it works. I'm trying to talk over that. I'm not sure if the saturation and compression, I think one runs into the other, but when, and I probably should have read more of the manual. I did read through the manual, but I'm really just like jumping into this one. But the A plus B, you have to try it for yourself, man. This thing affects this thing when A plus B is engaged. When it's not, it's different. It almost seems to be separate, like it's not inside the path of the saturation. It's influence. Perhaps the saturation is going to the compression or the other way. I would say A to B, then through C. That's the only way I can imagine it here. When it's engaged, it's A plus B. So that means that things over here are affecting what's going on in the saturator. This thing is deep. All right. I'm gonna touch this asymmetrical function here. Right now it's up, right? So it's normal. You can hear the grittiness. Goodness. Let me turn it down just a little bit, man. This thing is nasty. Nasty, man. Listen to that. That's real saturation and distortion, bro. And let me remind you of when I started with. You hear that? That's clean. That's the instruments all by themselves. Just clean. Look how that affects that. There is no other saturation on the market doing this, man. Besides the actual hardware that they sampled. And even then, it's not designed to do what this is doing. This is a ballsy ass saturator. You gotta try it for yourself. That's it, man. I'm done. You're watching Yish in your ear. Stay tuned.